So I forgot my shades, so I'm squinting a lot. The sun's beautiful and bright today. It's a good day for a good day. I didn't have time this morning to sit and read Esther, and I'm headed south to load a truck, and I'm late, and that's not good. I hate being late. I overslept. That's not rare. I hate that. But anyhow, and then we're going to do a funeral. We got a funeral this afternoon. Had church yesterday in a deer stand. I never been a hunter. I've made up my mind this year I'm going to hunt up on the ranch, and I've got feeders and put some stands up, and I got game cameras put some game cameras out, and so I'm determined to hunt. And I don't know how long you're supposed to hunt. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I mean, if it wasn't for Alex, I wouldn't even. And J.C. Whitaker, J.C. over at Wings and Whitetails, I watched J.C. grow up, and me and Woodrow's been friends for 30 years, and so I just text J.C. and tell him what I'm doing, and he'll say, come by here. And I sent Christy by there Friday to get what I needed to hunt with, and different, anyway. So I'm not a hunter. And I tell y'all something now, I've told y'all this before, I'm not a fisherman either. And it is extremely humbling when you begin to do something in your 50s and you don't know nothing about it. You're learning, and that's why so many, especially men, my age and around us, they have a hard time understanding the Bible, but they just won't ask questions. They just don't want to talk about it because, they've been going to church 20 years. Been going to church 5 years, been going to church 10 years, went to church as a kid, but it ain't making no sense. So the problem is not that you don't have a brain and you can't read, and the problem is not that you don't want it. The problem is that you don't understand how. It's like me. The problem ain't I don't want to, that I'm not willing to put forth the effort to shoot a deer. The problem ain't that I won't spend the money to buy a deer stand, and the problem is I don't know how. It's like yesterday I texted Alex, and I ain't saying I ain't never sat in a deer stand. I have. I ain't saying I ain't never hunted. I have, but I've never been like a hunter. And then I was in the stand yesterday morning and freezing my tail off. And Alex said, well, you should have got one of them little buddy heaters. They'll heat your deer stand up. And I'm like, yeah, I got one in the shop. Yeah, should have brought it. Then I texted him, well, what are you supposed to do about peeing? I mean, I need to pee. I didn't bring nothing to drink, but I drank 3 cups of coffee before I went to the deer stand. He said, well, you always take a big Gatorade bottle, and I didn't do that. Well, because I had never thought about needing to pee. But I sat there 4 hours. I've never been, I sat in a deer stand for a little over 4 hours. And he told me, don't get down too early. I said, don't get down too early. I'm tired of sitting. Well, them deer's moving late. It was really cold this morning. They weren't moving much. Wait, you gotta, anyway. We do the same thing when it comes to reading the Bible. We don't know, and we don't understand it, and we don't want to ask no questions. We don't want to admit. I ain't. So one of the things I want to make sure I share with y'all is every time you read the Bible, anytime you read the Bible, every time you go to church, God gave us the Holy Spirit. And Jesus said he is going to remind you. He told his disciples he will remind you of all that I have said. And so you have to learn to rely on the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit is your help. He brings to your remembrance. He shows you what it actually is saying.